Hello everyone, my name is Abayomi. This is the second part of the OOP, Object-Oriented Programming with TypeScript. If you have not watched the first video, I would advise that you watch that before watching this second part. So in the last video, we talked about access modifier, we talked about the constructor, keyword, how to create a get function. We also talked about getter and setter. We spoke about polymorphism, the extend keyword, and the super keyword. So I'll clean up my VS Code and zoom in a bit. Today we'll talk about interfaces. They are like contracts. Contracts that are to be implemented by a class. So this is what I mean. I'll declare my interface. Start with interface. I'll call it iLogger. Then in this logger, I'm gonna have a log, which will take a message of the type of string and return a type of void. So this is the shape of what we want to implement. And when you have an interface, you can implement it with a class. Let's do class logger implement. We have the implement keyword iLogger. Then if I just stop here, if you scroll over to the right, we have class logger incorrectly implement interface iLogger. Property log is missing in the type logger but required in the type iLogger. So what it's just telling us that we have a method here that needs to be implemented here, and there's a shortcut for that. If you look at this pub, if you hover on it, and you'll see this implement interface logger. Then if I implement this, you have this log message here coming from this shape or contract. We can, but let's write it manually. So we have log, we have message, takes a message of string and return a type of void. We can do cl constructor log. Let's do something like info. This is what you see in the logger, info. Then we can do dot message. And I can log this guy, const logger equals to new logger. We can pass this guy, we can invoke this guy because there's no constructor here. So we can make this empty, then we can do logger.log. So if I do hello world, then if I open my terminal, just put down a bit and do ts node op thoughts. Then we have info hello world. So this is your typical logger that you have. So let's what did I press? Let's build on this. Let's expand on this. I'll create another one called error. So I'll put this guy, then call it error. And let's turn this guy to info. So I'll call this info. Info and info. You know, in a typical logger, you have your log.info, log.debug, and log.error. We're just trying to mimic how logger like Pinot and Wisting work. So let's declare a private property here, private property. And by the way, you can declare a private property by either using the keyword private, or in JavaScript you can use this hashtag. So hashtag means a private field or a private property. So I'll call this time and as a return type of date. So this is a private property that we have here, and I'll have my constructor, then would pass this dot time equals to new date. So we want the time to be equal to the new date. Then in our message, we will have message of type string returns void, and we can log this guy info. Then we can say this the time using our string interpolation, this dot time. Then let's put an hyphen here. Likewise, you can see this guy is complaining that incorrectly implemented blah blah blah, missing type of required ilogger, because the error of property of field is not implemented here. So what we can do is to come here and just implement interface. So we have the error logger here, and in the error logger, let's put error here. So I'll remove this guy. I'll just do CL. I'll do my string interpolation. I'll put it in box. I'll do error, and I'll do this dot time to, then hyphen this dot message. This will be message, not this message. Message coming from here. So I'll duplicate this guy again one more time. I'll call this error, and I'll put something bad happened. Something bad happened. Then I'll open here. I'll clear. I'll do TS node. We have our error with date time and something bad happened. This is the logger. So we're still building on this. I want to build. So we want to add colors to it. We want to add color to our logger. For our error, we should have add red, and for info, we should add green. And if you head over to this answer color code, you can have the foreground and the background color. For the background, let me pick green. I'll pick this green. I'll go back. I'll add green here for start. Then come back to this place. Then add a foreground white. Let's pick this and add it here. So layers test. I'll clear, and I'll do output. We have this all green. I'm not sure if this foreground is working, but we have green for the info. And let's pick for red. I'll pick a red color. Close this guy, and I'll paste here and copy the same. Just paste. Then run this guy. We have error, something bad happened, and for the info we have the green color. So a quick recap: we have the interface keyword, and I like to use this I to denote interface. Some people frown against it, but I like to use the I. Then a class must implement an interface. So when you say implement, you want to bring out this field or properties into this class. You want to implement them. Then we did our error method and our info method. Then we added color to it. So cool. So let's look at static class. Static class. So with the static class, you don't have to create an instance from the static class. You can call it directly. So this is what I mean. Let's write some functional programming first. So we import as crypto. So let's use crypto from crypto. Yeah, it's up here. Let me put this guy up. Then we can do const hash password. So we want to create a hash password. Password which should return a string, and the return type also should be a string. Then we can do return crypto.create hash. Then we pick a hashing algorithm which is SHA-256. dot update. Then we can pass in a password. Then digest use X. I'm very sure you must have seen this hashing algorithm before. In lieu of this, you can use bcrypt. Then we can do something like hash my password. Let hashed password hash password be equal to, so let's call this guy hashed password. Then we pass in our hash password. Then we can just do 1 2 3 4 5. Then if I do cl hash password, so to be id hash password. Then when I run this, we have our hash password. Now, if you want to convert this by using a static class, the same function, this hash password, we create class hash. I like to use the word service helper function, whatever. So hash service, then I'll call it static. Then we can have our hash password. We pass in the password parameter is of type string, also returns string. Then we can have this. We have a function that is declared is neither undefined, void, or any, must return a value. So if you are returning a value here, you must use the return keyword. So we have return crypto. Let me just borrow from here. So I'll pass it here. Return crypto, create hash dot this. Am I missing? Then let's activate it. Yeah. Then to use, instead of using hash password, instead of doing the new keyword, then hash service, no, because we are using the keyword static, means we can call it. So I'll do hash service dot hash password directly. Then we can just drop in 1 2 3 4 5. Then if you click on CL, then we have our hash password, and it should still work like the same. So let's go. Lastly, let's talk about bind. The bind keyword, call it bind. Then let's create a song. Song equals to this. I'll call it name. The name of the song is Billie Jean. Then we should have a play. So play method. Then I do CL. Do something like this song on repeat. Repeat is so I'll do this dot name. So binding means borrowing method from other objects. So if you have an object called song with a method called play, if you have another one called const trending, let me close this guy, trending song. Then if you have this like this, and the name is let's trending song. Let's do we add the word. So we can borrow certain properties from this object here. So if I do const song equals to song.play, then let's log this guy. If I put s here, let's see what we get. If I do ts node, we have the song on repeat is Billie Jean. Makes sense then. But if I borrow a property from here, let's call it const trending song equal to song dot play, then dot bind. So if you just press your dot bind, then we can pass in what do we mean to pass. So we want to bind trending song to song. So I'll pass in trending song then we can call it. Now bind, let's read. For a given function, create a bound function that has the same body as the original function. So it has the same body. This we have name here, we have name here, so we can pick up the name on this guy. So if I do a CL, we can do a TS. So we should have song on repeat is We Are the World, and the first one is song on repeat is Billie Jean. So we are binding this guy, the property here to this guy, more like an override. So this is the part 2 of our OP. So I hope you enjoy this series. If you do, please leave a like and hit that subscription button. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next class.